Hi, this is the day after I did the Magnolia and 5 Mile Drive videos, and I'm standing on a bank of the Thames south of Iffley and roughly opposite the start of Kennington, a village to the south of Oxford. And I'm going to walk up to Sandford-on-Thames. This is something that many people have done over the ages. One of them, I believe, was Lewis Carroll, who liked the route. Unfortunately, I haven't produced anything as famous as Carroll has, but I still like Sandford-on-Thames. My original reason for doing this was that I wanted to find a display of nice spring flowers, and I remembered that I've seen Sandford churchyard in the spring, a little bit earlier than this, but about the same sort of time, and it had a wonderful display, so I thought I'd walk there and see whether it had such a display again, and if so, whether I could video it. But I've just passed this spot. I've come out into the open after walking past Iffley village on a comparatively narrow bit of towpath, and it's really quite striking, so I thought I'd start the video early, and I hope I have enough gigabytes and battery capacity to last out. And there's a cherry tree. At least I'm not sure whether that's cherry or not. At this time of year, the structure of the trees is as apparent as that of the pylons. I knew somebody who worked for one of the electricity companies once. He'd joined, I think, just after one of them became a private utility, and although he didn't design pylons himself, he knew people that did, and he even gave me a book on pylon design. And part of it was about avoiding unwanted subconscious connotations, to get a bit technical, concerning expression and posture. That is, for example, you don't want a pylon to look sort of droopy and therefore look depressed. I don't mean droopy in the sense of leaning over to one side, but I mean that if too many parts of it are pointing down in the right sort of place, the whole thing will just look dejected, and that's not good. Oops. I'm lucky here because we've not had rain for a long time, so the ground is pretty dry. You can see where the water tends to collect when it does rain. So I can't remember what this stretch of land is officially called, but something like Kennington Meadows probably. And it goes on for a long way, and you can wander around it freely and have dogs, and I'm sure the dogs enjoy it as much as the people. And I may be getting a lot of wind noise, which I can't do very much about, so apologies if I am. It will disappear when I get somewhere more sheltered. I'm fairly sure that at least some of those are Canada geese. So Kennington is over there, and it goes down quite a long way, almost all the way to Radley, and it probably counts as a classic case of ribbon development. There's one long main road and a road through the woods that parallels that. There we have some building. I'm not quite sure how far towards Sandford I am. That could be the Voco Spires Hotel, or it could be some new flats. Dry though the ground is, it does feel very soft underfoot in places. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that flag has something to do with the Knights Templar. Apparently, they had a big base in London, but one of their other bases was where Voco Spires is now. There's very little of them that remains. Probably just a few names around the Cowley Centre area. Templars Road and such like. But not, as far as I know, any significant buildings. This is me panning round a full circle. As you see, there's a huge amount of green space and a lot of river. And it only took me, 10 minutes to walk from where I started the video to here. So it's not difficult. Come and enjoy it. So I suppose, getting back to the season that it is, what we can say is that very little spring growth has yet sprung up here. Later, I suppose, there'll be things like possibly rose bay willow herb, maybe balsam, musk, maybe assorted umbelliferous plants, that is, stuff that looks like cow parsley. Or maybe it's a bit wet for them, I don't know, but in any case, not very much of that is here yet. Those are plants that I've seen along the canal banks, which is why I mentioned them as possibilities. grass seed heads. In my video yesterday, I said at the start that I was expecting several more days of fine weather, but I've heard that in fact we're going to get 3 days of rain starting tomorrow, so this may be the last video until sometime next week.
Get him.
Well, that wasn't Voco spires that I pointed at before, because that is Voco spires. At least I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm intrigued by the idea of there having been a Knights Templar base here once upon a time. There must be so much that we don't have in common. I wonder whether it's possible to make any sort of reasonable guess at how they spent their days and what they talked about and what they were feeling. Well, I'm now approaching somewhere that I think the Knights Templar would have understood, and that's the King's Arms. Nice pub, good meals, nice selection of beers just ahead. Sadly, beer is a bit expensive these days, so I'm just going to pass by it and then walk straight to the church to look for flowers. If I were to carry on past the pub in roughly the same direction, I could walk to Abingdon and indeed beyond, and that's worth doing on a good day. There are several possible routes. And if you're feeling fit, you can run it, because it's nice soft ground. I mean, come on, who chooses the names for these things? Coddywomple. I don't know what a coddywomple is, but my guess is that it could be an annoyingly twee railway station, either in Wales or in Cornwall, featuring some made-up place name that the tourist industry has managed to persuade everybody is genuine. There's the King's Arms. And if humanity had invented teleportation, which unfortunately it hasn't, I would put out a message at this stage saying, here, somebody teleport me £5, would you? And I'll have a pint of beer for the bother of walking all this way. Last time I was here was, I think it was August bank holiday, and my thumbnail for that video shows two men carrying a canoe past the lock house. Hi there, where do I go round?
Oh, sorry sir, it's just up there on the gate. I've left the gate open.
Oh, thanks very much.
No problem.
Thanks. Yeah, they're painting markers on that gate. Normally I'm used to going round by that one rather than the other one. There's the King's Arms. There's the King's Arms.
Do you want to go first?
Thanks very much. Thanks. And now I need to get to the church. So now I've come off the Thames and I've turned round at the King's Arms and I'm walking back in roughly the direction that I came. It's a pleasant little village, this part. here's one little lot of spring flowers, periwinkles. Dandelions and a bee. That's one of the first I've seen. And here's the church. Some primroses there, daffodils. But I think there's a bigger display on the other side of the wall. And actually it's not quite as big as I expected from what I saw last time, but still nice to see. I really like primroses, and it's nice to see so many of those together. They have a very sort of calm, gentle feeling. I don't know why. And they're reddish ones as well. I don't know how much of the original wild stock the yellow ones carry, but the red ones are definitely cultivated, I think. There is wonderful aroma. I think it's coming from that. Very heavy, sweet smell, like some sort of syrup. Something that you would drip slowly out of a bottle. Probably on a cold winter's day. Not much of a display here, sadly. I must say, if I knew how to do so without poisoning myself, I would distill that, because it smells as though it would taste absolutely wonderful if you drank it. Anyway, this is St Andrew's Church in Sandford-on-Thames, and I've been doing Springwalk 6 looking for its displays of spring flowers, and I found lots of primroses. See you next time.